Howdy, folks. I'm Mark, and today I am joined by Dalton Fuller. Dalton, thank you for coming on back and joining me for this short talk about video games.
I'm glad to be back.
Oh, wonderful. And you're out there, you listen to Quick Play, so let's get right into it. So in a recent episode, this is kind of more an off-the-cuff one, but I declared that I'm doing a spending freeze on video game purchases for the rest of the year. Partly it's because I've had a few pretty big purchases this year, being like a Switch 2. I'm getting the racing rig from our mutual friend Mike.
Nice.
So which I need to get that from him eventually. I have nowhere to put it, so he's been very patient with me and holding on to it for me.
He's got plenty of room. Don't rush him. Yeah.
So very thankful for him and excited for that. But all it means is I've spent a lot more on video games this year than I ever have before. And so at the same time, Dalton, you and we had briefly talked about covering this topic kind of late last year.
Yes.
It's been on my short list of like suggested topics whenever I recruit a guest. So it's been on there for a while. You were still the first and only person to is ever brave enough to take that on. So I'll just pitch you the big question. Like, how much do you, I mean, you can be approximate, that's totally fine. But how much do you spend on video games each year?
Yeah. I honestly was super excited when you asked this question because I think and I totally understand people don't want to know how much they spend on their hobbies. It's like a scary question to ask,
Sure.
but I'm one of those people that is not afraid of that thing. I will tell you how much money I waste or whatever, but I spend, honestly, I'm sure this would be the popular answer, too much money on video games. I mean, we're talking multiple hundreds of dollars a year.
Sure.
And to be honest, I think the biggest thing, and I don't know if this is getting too ahead of ourselves, so let me know.
No, you're fine.
But I think the biggest thing is that, like, I am not a patient gamer. Like, we talk about the patient gamer, like, we'll wait for the sale. That is not me. I want to play the new game. I want to play the hot game. I'm willing to spend the full price.
Sure.
I know that's bad to say. EA, don't listen to this. But I am willing to buy that full price game to be part of the conversation.
Sure. Yeah. And that's like the biggest hurdle to not overspend is like, I mean, there's a contentment side of it, but it's also like, I like video games, so I'm listening and watching and reading a bunch of video game stuff. And so it's like, man, I want to play this game too. Like it's really tempting to like want to be a part of that conversation, like you said.
Yes.
Do you feel like you are spending more often? Actually, I'll ask this in two different ways. Are the more games you buy more newer games or older games, or and also at the same time, are you spending more of your money on newer games versus older games?
Right. I think, yes, it does. And I think I am doing that. I am spending more of my money on newer games because I think the excitement, the just like, the hype, the conversation around like being there when that new game drops is enticing to me. Like, it shouldn't be, because like video games are like, they get better over time, especially these days.
Yeah.
With patches and whatnot. So I should be waiting because most of the time you're having the best experience later.
Sure.
But I can't help myself sometimes. Like, your Blueprints come out, your Clair Obscur Expedition 33s come out.
Yeah.
I know I'm saying games that are not full price, so that maybe helps. But and everybody's talking about them, excited about them, and I get caught up in it. Like, that's maybe not the best thing, not good morally or financially, but it's just the most exciting thing is for me, like, especially playing video games and in a time when, like, candidly, I have more money than I have time.
Sure.
I'm sure as you feel that way as well.
Being a grown adult. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And you have a child. I don't even have to deal with that. I can't even imagine. But it is more exciting to pay the extra money to be there for when everybody is talking and playing the game together than it is, for the $20-$30 I may save to wait a year, 6 months even. I value that, that exciting time where everybody's playing the same thing versus 3 years later when I'm like, wow, Cyberpunk, that's great. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever, Grandpa. Like,
This is all so retro of you to
yeah.
get into Cyberpunk now. Wow.
Wow, 2.0. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as like there's like a 20% tax on like being a part of the conversation. Uh,
Yes,
or I guess a more PR friendly way. It's like that's the admittance fee to get into the conversation and be a part of the zeitgeist.
absolutely.
Um, okay, well, I don't want to leave you out there on your own. I did come prepared to talk about my own budget as well. Um, so what I ended up doing a few years ago, I got really interested, maybe a little too obsessed on how much I'm spending on games, and so I made a spreadsheet.
Smart.
I went back and I found I think all my purchases since like late 2018, which is when I got my Switch One. Um, and then so I set it out where there's two different totals, where there's one for all purchases and then one that takes out the stuff that was like gifted. So sometimes like is a little iffy, where even my Switch One itself was a wedding gift from all of my groomsmen, which is super
Smart.
kind. It's awesome.
That's a great wedding gift.
That was great. It was right in time for Smash Bros coming out too.
Oh.
But it's all sometimes gifts are like my wife got me this game for Christmas and we have a joint bank account, so it's like it's a little iffy of like whether or not it's
Yes.
my money or not.
I know that as well. Yes.
So I did mention this year is like an especially big year. But before this year, I was averaging spending about $458 a year. Taking out all the gifted stuff that goes down to about 363. This year alone, I've spent $1,038. None of that has been a gift. That's because that includes, I mean, half of that is the Switch 2. I think actually probably more than half that is Switch 2.
Yeah.
And I also bought the Pro controller, which is like another 90 on top of it. So that's like something like 600-ish there. And then a couple hundred of that was also added in the steering wheel. So I think of actual other games that I've bought and other stuff is probably about like $200 of other stuff. Just all been these biggest things. So now it puts my average at 531 a year or 447, taking out like kind of the gifted stuff. Before this year, my next biggest spending year was 2023, and that was when I bought my Series X. And I spent $727 that year. I then sold the Xbox in 24 and used that to buy a Steam Deck, which I kind of like. The Steam Deck was a little bit cheaper than what I sold the Xbox for, so it kind of all balanced out.
That's boy math. Yeah, that
works.
totally works out. Yeah,
I made money.
Exactly.
That.
That's free, basically. No, and I think you hit honestly like on something that it's tricky and I commend you for actually keeping track of your budget for spending games, because that is something that I just try not to think about. I should.
Yeah.
But it's like, I have a real job now. Like that money doesn't count anymore. But right. It is tricky, like in this specific hobby of trying to keep track of that, because it's like every few years it just gets gigantically inflated.
Yeah.
So you got to buy a Switch 2, you got to buy Series X. This year, to give you on top of that, like I would say I probably spend, on average, probably about $500 a year.
Yeah.
Playing video games, like based on how the games go, like are more games coming out that you like or not. But I'm also way higher than that this year because I bought the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro.
Oh, there you go.
When they came out, it's $1,000 right there. And it's like
slap it down.
Yeah. Just so like that actually shot my normal numbers up too. But
so
it is kind of interesting that
you didn't you sell your
I did sell. So I sell my PS5. Yeah, so like that helped. It's really only $700. And again, to the gamer math situation, it was like, well, $700 is how much a normal PS5 Pro is, and I got the fancy 30th anniversary one with all of the accoutrements and whatnot. Right. So that's I made out. I made money basically.
Yeah, and also the prices keep going up, so you could sell that for a profit now. You just gotta hold on to it. It's an investment.
Yes. That's how I told it to my wife, and she graciously agreed with me. Agreed. Like, didn't think to get me to shut up, I'm sure. But hey,
Yeah.
It is tough because it's like you can be doing great for 5, 6, 7 years in this hobby, just buying games, and then all of a sudden you got to have a Switch 2. You got to
Yeah.
have a PS5. Like it just shoots those up and immediately on you.
Yeah. And I think for the longest time, I was kind of dreading like whatever was the successor for Switch because I had to think, well, like I really liked my Switch, and I think it was kind of like, ugh, like eventually there'll just be this new like admission fee to play the next
Yeah.
Nintendo games, and I ended up like, I think the Switch 2 was really cool as a unit and as a console, and I kind of was more excited about it when it came out. But for the longest time, it does kind of feel like every 5 to 8 years. Hopefully, it's longer now. I would love for Switch 2 to last 10 years.
That'd be
like,
nice.
um, but like, I just you got to put another couple hundred to keep up with the Joneses.
It's true. It's an expensive. Like I mean, it is. Honestly, this is why I guess was brave enough to
Mm-hmm.
do this, but to do this
Yeah.
topic is it's like it's an expensive hobby, man. Like
Yeah.
people don't. It doesn't really get talked about enough. I think in this hobby of like to try and stay up to date and to play the games and to be what I want to be,
Yeah.
unfortunately for me,
Right.
and to be up to date with them is like you've got to pay your admission fee, like you said. You have to
Yeah.
have your new consoles. You've got to pay your $70 nowadays to play your games, and it's tough. Like so many people, you just kind of get priced out of it to a
Yeah.
point, or you have to be super picky.
Yeah.
And I don't love that because I'm a person who likes to try games. I like to try different games. I like
Yeah.
to take a chance, but that just gets harder and harder with games getting more expensive, time getting less, more precious, like
Yeah.
more and more, less and less time, unfortunately, going to video games as you become an adult. It's the worst thing.
Right.
Nobody tells you about that.
Yeah.
But it does make it sting when you're like, I paid $70 for this game. I've not beaten it. I've not played. I've not even
Right.
started it.
Yeah. It's just sitting there,
Yeah,
either on the shelf or a little icon in my home screen.
it's brutal.
Yeah. Like it is. I'm trying to think of how to be gentle about this and like non-judgmental, but it's like I feel like the people who are most online are like, it's like they buy a new game every weekend, and it's like, how do
Mhm.
you do that? Like I can't.
Yes.
Like it is so. I also don't know why, but like the I find it really hard to spend money on games, and I know like this is not a meant to be like, oh, I'm holier than thou and how hard it is for me to spend games, but like there is a weird roadblock where it's like $10 or $20 on a game feels like a lot more. Where it's like
Yes.
I'll spend $20 on a 6 pack of beer, like pretty easily, like just
Yeah,
groceries, like
easily. Yeah.
done.
Yes.
But I don't know why like games are just like, oh man, I gotta really make sure I really want this, and like I'll get my money out of it. Let me do like another hour of research to make sure
Oh,
this is the game I
sure.
really want
Yeah.
to get.
I completely agree. I'm right there with you where I'm like, I can go out on a Friday night and spend twenty
Yeah,
dollars on 2 drinks, and it
yeah,
doesn't. It's like whatever. Like that's the
that's what it
price
is.
to be
Sure, yeah,
here or whatever. Yeah, I'm just here to have a night. But yeah, it's like, oh, this game I've been wanting to play for 8 months is $25. I'm like, do I?
yikes. Yeah,
And I just think it is. I honestly do. I've thought about that a lot, and
yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up. But I do think it is like I'm afraid I will never play this. I think at
Mm-hmm.
least with the 2 drinks, I'm like, I will drink them
Yeah,
like when I'm there. But I am afraid some days where I'm like, do I pay the $25? And there's a chance that I literally never boot this game up. And I think that's what stings a little bit.
yeah. I I found myself sometimes in the opposite side where it's like there'll be a game where it's like, this game's like $10, $20, like it, or it's on sale for $20. It's like I probably one I'd actually enjoy, but I keep thinking like, yeah, but I bet like Epic Games Store's going to give it for free eventually, and I
Yeah.
just never buy it, and I never play it, and I never have fun with it, and so it's like, well, that's why you have a budget sometimes. It's like the
Mhm.
money's there.
Right.
You can allow yourself to spend money on this stuff sometimes.
I know. I think it's like this is like will sound like not good with money advice, but I actually think it is. It's that I've tried to get better within the last, like, especially this year and then some last year. It's still a new thing, but I've tried to get better at like spend the money.
Yeah,
Like you've made the money, you budgeted the money, you have it. like it's okay to let it go. Like what do you know,
Right.
you can't take it with you in a situation. And I'm not like don't lose your house because you're trying to
Right.
find too many
Yes.
video games. I'm not saying that. But I have tried to get better at the hey, you've set you do your budget. It's okay this month if you bought a video game.
Yes.
And I kind of have got myself on the other side of that. Because before I would do that where I was like, well, it could be $20 next month,
Right.
$30. That's too much. And I think you kind of have to let that go a little bit. It's like there
Yeah.
will always be deals, especially in today's world where as long as it's not Nintendo,
Yeah.
video games go on sale all the time. Uh,
Right.
and it's okay. And I think that to not get too far off of a tangent, but I think that
That's fine.
companies have gotten better at pricing games. Like we I brought up Expedition 33 earlier, it's $50. Hollow
Yeah.
Knight Silksong's about to come out $20.
Right.
So I do think, which is crazy, they could have charged
Yeah.
more than that, but I do think that I'm hoping that that continues to be a trend where developers are learning, hey, we can sell more units and make up the cost if we do like slash this a little bit. And I understand
Yeah.
certain games you can't do that, like when GTA 6 comes out, I'm sure it will be worth $70
Right.
or more if they want to charge that. And I totally am fine for that. Like, again, I have more money than time at this point as far as my video game budget goes.
Right.
But it does make it easier to swallow when you're like, oh, this new game came out. It's only $40.
Yeah.
Well, then as me, video game person, more money than time, I'm like, that's a steal. Like we talk about, that's free.
I'm losing
Like,
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I do, I have appreciated that trend because it
Mhm.
kind of like gets that mental block out of my head. And I
Yeah.
would like to see that continue.
Yeah. I think like of your example of Silk Song as well, it's like uh I feel like being $20 is super smart where it's
Yes.
like they can ride the wave of it being a meme and $20 is like an impulse buy for so many people. Right.
Easily.
If it was
Me?
$40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really like Hollow Knight all that much. I get why it's
Yeah.
great. I just didn't really enjoy it. But it's like
Mhm.
for $20, I'd try out Silk Song if I wasn't trying to not spend money on the rest
Right.
of this year.
Yeah, if you didn't buy a
Um,
nice racing rig already. Yeah.
right. Yes. I've got some F1 to play, so I'll be
Exactly.
fine there for a little bit. Uh, so I think the variable pricing is like really smart and really helpful. I'm even circling of like, okay, when next year starts of like, do I just set maybe it's $200 to kind of like rein it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, I have $200 to spend on video games throughout the year. And then it could even be like in December, like this final Steam sale, and I've got $60 left. Like I can feel free to
Go
pay.
crazy.
Yeah. Just get a bunch of stuff that I want. Well, nice. Okay. Well, our time is short here, but before we go, you may have already mentioned it, but what's been like your single biggest video game purchase? Or do you have another one that sticks out to you?
Let's see. Let me think about it. Yeah, the PS5
Yeah.
Pro 30th anniversary was big. That was my first like I make big boy money. I can
Mm-hmm.
buy this without it bankrupting me. It's a thing I don't need, but I really want. That would be up there. I will say, I guess this is maybe going outside of it a little bit,
Oh,
but
that's fun.
last year I did upgrade my TV.
Oh, nice.
And so it wasn't only for video games, but a big thing was 120 hertz, 140. I think it's 144
Yeah.
hertz. Like it was like $1,600. And that would be a biggest one. It was also
Sure.
like as we if you listen to the show,
Yeah.
I watched a lot of movies as well, so
Yes.
it was also for that.
Yeah. I feel like it's
And
more for movies than for games even. Yeah.
it was more for movies, but it also does make gaming a lot better. Just like
Sure.
so, if you want to go like 50-50 the
Mm-hmm.
TV, if you want to go fully, then yes, the PS5
Sure.
Pro 30th anniversary for sure. Which honestly, I love. I have like not regretted that purchase at all.
Yeah.
Buyer's remorse is a thing that I get bad about, especially
Yeah.
right after when the money is really gone. You're like, oh, should I have really done
Yeah.
that? But to be honest, I love that thing. It's so cool. All the like fanfare they did with the controllers and
Yeah.
and even like the charging cable, all of that stuff is just so nice. I really, it's like that was one of those where I'm like, if you're not spending your disposable income on stuff like this, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's a real. It was an ultimate treat yourself.
Yes. Like if you have it, like
Right.
it's there for you. Now's the time. I know.
Like I logged in to just get the controller, and the console was still there, and I was like, "This is obviously a sign."
Well,
And is that rationalization? Yes, but I do it anyway. I
yeah,
have to.
yeah. I do know that there's at least one listener, Nate McKeever, who is an oftentimes a guest here. He is probably punching the air right now out of jealousy and a jealous rage.
Hey, make me an offer. No.
Yeah. See, it could make you money. You just
That's
have
right.
to. You
You
need the
never
right,
know.
right buyer, right seller.
I still have the box.
It's there for you. To answer for myself as well, I think it's been the Switch 2 actually, which is also the first time I've bought a console on launch day. It's
Nice.
been a long time coming.
That's an
Trying to-
exciting day. I
Yeah,
remember the first time I did that was PS4,
nice.
and it was really funny because like I had pre-ordered mine in the Eastern time zone, and then my friends and I had pre-ordered theirs in the Central time zone,
Oh,
and so we picked mine up, and then we drove to pick theirs up.
nice.
So we got to do it twice that night at midnight. Very
That's
fun.
awesome. Yeah,
Just a super fun. Console launch days are just so much fun.
yeah,
Like it is such a. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. It is. It doesn't. That's what it's like. The money doesn't matter. Like it.
yeah.
The experience is so much fun. It's so exciting. It just peeling off the plastic.
Yes.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's an exciting day. That's like, it's at least kind of like, oh man, at least right now, at least the money feels worth it. But
Yes.
so, it's a good experience. Well, we have one final little bit here. One name, one game. What are you playing?
I have been playing mostly a lot of Rematch recently.
Oh, nice.
I played soccer my whole life, and I think
Nice.
Rematch is like the closest video game to ever feeling like real soccer, for good and bad reasons. For the same reasons I got mad when I played the game, I get mad when I play Rematch. So I'm playing a lot of Rematch. I just
Nice.
recently beat Sword of the Sea. I
Oh
finished
man,
that off. So
That's-
good. Such a great vibes game.
speaking of contentment, that's one that's like, oh man, I really want to play that game. Although I did
Yes.
just find out it's not supported on Steam Deck, so I don't actually have a way to play it. So
Oh, tough. It would be a great Steam Deck game. I played it on PS Plus.
Nice.
But just really good. I love like Journey,
Mhm.
Abzu, like the Giant Squid. They're great. It's just a great. It's like 3 hours. You can beat it, and then you're just great
Yeah.
music. You're just surfing on your little
so cool.
your little surfboard. It's a great time.
Nice. Good stuff. Well, I've been actually not really playing because I played it in a flurry of like 12 hours. Universal Paperclips. It is a web-based clicker game
Nice.
that it really sucked me in. It is.
Clickers will do that. Yeah, you'll all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, I've played way too much of this game.
What happened here? Yeah. Well, thank you, Dalton, again for joining me. Where else are you out on the internet?
Well, again, the only place that I really point people to is Letterboxd, where I review movies. Dalton Fuller is there. If you want to know the only correct opinions about movies, that's where they are.
It's where you go.
That's right.
Well, nice. Well, thank you all for listening in. I made a template of my expense tracking Google Sheet. So I'll include that in the description if you want to start your own journey of tracking every single cent you spend on video games.
I should.
There you go. It's there for you too. You can follow us on the major podcasting services or on YouTube. You can press all the good buttons if you enjoy this conversation. You also find us on the proper socials at Click Play Pod. I can say my own podcast name just right. Thank you very much. But let us know, how much do you spend on video games each year? Would love to know. Let's
be brave.
Make it less weird. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's like, people don't like to talk about that, but come on.
Yeah.
We all know. We all know.
We all spend money on it. It's
exactly.
Fine. That's all the time we have today. Thanks. Bye.